But
Too late. We are live according to StreamYard. So, good evening, ladies and germs, and welcome to another episode of This Week Unloaded. Yeah, we're back after doing the WrestleMania thing last week, which Snob's done nothing but give me grief about.
thank God.
But so far tonight, we have New York Outcast, Rob D with us. How you tonight?
Doing well, and shocked that you're doing a show that doesn't involve guys in tights. I mean, I don't know where the
Exactly.
hell you been.
Hey,
I mean,
man,
it's
we can
great
talk about
Snob's been
books,
giving you
movies.
hell. If I talked to you, I'd be smacking you online. What the hell's wrong with you, man?
I don't mind the guys in
Uh,
the tides. It's just everything else.
Yeah.
well, if you're gonna watch wrestling, throw some bikinis in there, throw some mud. I mean, that
Well,
I'll stop by. But
I'm sure we can put some
hello,
bikinis on some
everybody.
of the guys.
No.
Uh-huh. And next, we got some lady named Stacy and goes by the name Mystic Guns, married to some guy named the Gun Snob. So, how are you tonight?
Good, and I'm sure you're here the worst half because he'll be piping in every so often.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I mean, we had an impromptu kind of episode of this before night two of WrestleMania last week because he was out there in the chat and we started talking about his purchases from Moneymaker last weekend.
Yeah.
Don't bring those up.
I thought Snob was there because she keeps him on a leash.
That too.
You know, he's got his own link, but he never uses it. He just piggybacks on his wife's.
Yep.
Well, from what I hear, he's the local stud out in that area, so she's got to keep a good eye on him.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. So, anything new in your areas? Any new gun laws get passed, either for the good or the bad, or any such thing? Start with you, Rob. Anything new on that front in your area?
Honestly, I don't know on the news aspect in my area.
Yeah, I'm sure with it being New York, if anything did pass, it wouldn't be good. So.
Probably not. More than likely not. But you never know. They may screw up and do something good by accident.
Accidentally do something right.
It does happen.
You never know with politicians, man. You never know. What about you, Stacey, out there in Oklahoma? Or Snob if you're still piggybacking?
I didn't hear the question because I walked out of the room for a
I
second.
did. So, OK2A got our concealed carry permit bill that makes our concealed carry permit bypass the NICS check or work as your NICS check. That one will be on the governor's desk for him to sign, hopefully this week. I mean, he's already said he'll sign it, so shouldn't be a problem. And then also, they kind of worked with some other groups and got one passed protecting motorist rights if they're caught. Like, I don't know if you remember when all the protests were going on, but in Tulsa they had a truck and horse trailer. He drove through the crowd to get out of it because they were throwing cocktails at his horse trailer and his horses in it. Anyways, and he ran over a few people. Oops. But so they passed a bill. The House and Senate did, and it's on the governor or headed to the governor's desk this week for him to sign. Also, that is protecting motorist rights. Basically, if they run you over, it's not their fault. If you choose to protest and cause problems and that.
Yeah, they did that in Florida too this past week. I don't know if you saw where that's heading to the governor's desk there, and of course DeSantis is going to sign it, where they have all kinds of protections if they hit somebody who's doing one of these idiotic protests and blocking streets and whatnot. So it's about time.
That's definitely a good thing, man. They should have that in New York. I know a while ago they released a lot of the mentally disabled, and there's always people running around the damn street trying to kick your car and all types of crazy shit now and then. It's pretty amazing sometimes. So, and that's just on a normal day, let alone one of these. It's not every day, but it happens quite often. Sometimes junkies just screaming at people trying to stop cars, like they'll kick your hood. And I don't know if it's part of a scam that act like you ran them over or what the hell goes on, but it's illegal if you hit them, and that's the problem because when they're trying to jump in front of your car, they deserve to get hit. In my opinion. I mean, what else can you do? Even if you try to dodge them and still hit them, you shouldn't get higher insurance and get charges for something.
Yeah, they had a problem with that in Russia back in the early 2000s, going into the 2010s, and that's when everybody over there started doing the dash cam videos that became popular on YouTube there for a while. That's why they did it, because you'd have people jumping out in front of your cars and stuff like a bunch of morons.
Yeah, well, they do that in New York, so they could use that law here, but of course, because we could use it, they probably won't pass it. And have you guys seen those Russian videos, those cars, like lately? Those people are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're always getting in accidents. Maybe that's all we're seeing because those are dash cam videos. But goddamn, I'd be nervous driving over there.
Hell, man, did you see the one where the guy's driving down the highway over there and it gets buzzed by, I think it was a MiG-29? It's like the jet was coming in for a practice landing on the highway or something.
I've seen tanks just rolling down the road and crush cars and shit, and they're like, "Oops, my bad." Like,
yeah, you're driving down the road. Next thing you know, you're hitting the brakes because an armored personnel carrier comes flying up off the side of the road in front of you.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
they always blow the lights. They're always passing on the left, and people go to turn and boom. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, you got to search for car accidents in America. Because if you just do it general, it's all that Russian shit.
I think the best one I saw, the Russian dash cam ones, you guys driving behind a semi, all of a sudden this big ass brown bear comes running up out of the forest that the highway's running through. It just slams right through the side of the semi, totally destroys the trailer, and just keeps on running.
But got those ones where be a little ass car, and then somebody drives up in like a Mercedes, and they get in a little road rage, and then the Mercedes gets out, pulls like a club out the car, and walks back, and then the dude gets out. Like, you're wondering how the hell did that dude fit in that car? He looks like Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah, there was
like the hell, like giant. And you see the guy just back up, like over.
Yeah, there was one where a guy rides his bike out right in front of the guy's car intentionally, and then acts like he's hurt. And then as soon as the crowd starts to disperse, he just jumps up and starts walking away. The guy that was driving the car grabs him and starts beating the holy hell out of him.
I honestly don't blame him.
I don't either, but it was funny as hell. But anyway, since we were talking, we've since been joined by Jason Stewart finally. How are you tonight, Jason? You there, Jason?
I'm guessing he probably jumped on, put it on mute, and went to go do something.
Well, since he joined, we've also been joined by Buck. So how are you tonight, Buck?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
What's up,
Not
Buck?
too bad.
Hey, Stacy. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Buck.
He don't care about you.
Hey,
He only cares about me.
Looks like Jason's here now.
Yeah, I was here. It jumped me on and off the internet. Said my internet was having trouble connecting with StreamYard or something. But
Likely story.
So anyway, we were talking about any good or bad gun laws that have been passed in your area, and Snob brought up about how Oklahoma just had the law passed which protects you if you hit one of these idiots that are protesting in the middle of the road. So that's what got us on the Russian dash cam, if you guys didn't hear that part. So what about you, Jason? Anything good come about in your area lately on the 2A front as far as laws that are passed or anything?
actually, man, I haven't heard a thing, man. But I've been real busy working, but I usually don't watch the news or anything around here. But I haven't heard of anything. I think everybody here might be getting ready to, or might already started like their summer break or whatever. Because
I'm pretty
I
sure
haven't heard
the
anything.
only bill that DeWine's going to sign that's Pro 2A this year is all you're getting from him forever.
Yeah, I don't think there's much going on. He did just sign
I don't
our.
think he can do anything else.
He did just sign the thing that got rid of duty to retreat. So
Yeah,
he's not all bad.
That's probably the only Pro 2A thing he'll ever sign. So,
Alrighty. What about you, Buck? Anything new in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, we got rid of that duty to retreat, and we got that other law coming in too. Hopefully, if everything passes, where our B2A sanction state.
The sanctuary.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got that. That last thing they passed before they went into recess here was our version of that. So that's heading to our governor's desk too. So that's always cool. And then I don't know if we talked about it on Gary's show last week or not, but they also passed here and the governor signed where out of state permits are going to be a thing. So if somebody who lives in Maryland wants to get a carry permit for if they go to Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, or other states that recognize West Virginia's permit, they'll be able to get our permit instead. They just got to take our class. Now, I don't know if they're going to do like they do with the veterans that live in state, but if you're a West Virginia veteran, you don't have to pay for your permit and you don't have to take the CO carry class either. You just have to show proof of being a veteran and you get your permit for free and they waive the class requirement. So I don't know if they're going to do that with the out of state permits or not. So anybody out there that wants to jump on board and get one of those, you'll have to check with the whatever sheriff's department is closest to you that you would be able to get one through here in West Virginia. But those go into effect in less than 90 days. I think it's sometime in July. I think is when they go into effect, July 1st, somewhere around there. And then the other one that's going to go that's already been signed by the governor and goes into effect at the same time is we will no longer have to pay sales tax for firearms or ammunition.
oh, you lucky ass you.
So that'll take some of the cost off of the guns and
Federal
ammo right now.
tax or just state tax?
Just the state sales tax. So yeah, we will not have to pay state sales taxes on guns or ammo anymore once that goes into effect.
But the brand new guns are still be under like a 11% tax or whatever.
Well, that's already
You
built
don't ever
into the
see
price
that.
of the
That's
gun.
in the price. Yeah.
That's
That's still imposed.
but the 6% that the state was charging isn't going to be charged anymore. So that's still going to discount a little, $6 on every $100. I mean, it might not be a lot, but it's still more money that stays in your pocket.
Damn taxes.
We've been joined by Guns and Barbecue now. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for the invite.
Yep. I don't know how long you've been listening or not. Now, if we're talking about any new pro-gun or anti-gun laws that have been passed in our area. So, and it's your turn. So, anything new come up in your area, up there in Pennsylvania?
Nothing that I can think of recently. We had a couple bills late last year that were passed through the House and the Senate, and the governor vetoed them. One of them was to limit the governor's powers in the event of a gosh darn it, an emergency, state of emergency. Good God.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's out there.
Yeah, which Wolf has abused already with the declaring a state of emergency for opioids and in the process making it where it's illegal to open carry if you don't have your concealed carry permit. Meanwhile, in the Pennsylvania Constitution, open carry is right guaranteed.
Exactly.
Been doing that for like 3 years now, right?
Something like that. It's been a while. It was
keeps
actually
renewing it every year.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that he enacted up there when he became governor.
Yeah, it was almost immediate. Because it was actually happening when I still had vision, so it's been over 3 years. And then the other one that he vetoed would have made all respects to the firearms industry essential. So they wouldn't have been able to be shut down like they were this last time during the COVID outbreak. And that included your ranges and manufacturers, your local shops, everything.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, because that reminds me, another thing that the governor signed into law was a bill that added on to our preemption law, to where in the case of a state of emergency, like what we've had with the COVID and everything, we've had local municipalities trying to shut down gun shops and everything, which the governor explicitly put in his order they weren't to do, but they went and tried doing it anyway. So our legislature passed the bill, and he signed that into law, and that goes into effect July, beginning of July as well.
Whatever happened to his private militia thing?
That was only a couple of senators out of Philadelphia. And I, after hearing about it initially, which I didn't give two minds to, because I knew it was a bunch of crap, I didn't hear anything much after that.
Okay. Just curious, because from my understanding, that was like people that got approved, I guess, were able to buy things, I don't know, without restrictions and background checks or something like that, basically. If you were part of the legal militia or something. So
yeah, they were trying to make it where if you were part of the state militia, which I don't understand why we would need that, but essentially it was going to be run by the governor, and that's where the big problem was. Is you had a lot of people worried that there's going to be a lot of political BS going on with it, where they were going to be targeting certain individuals and looking the other way for others, and they were giving special exemptions. You could own this type of firearm or that type of firearm, and they were limiting pretty much everything under the sun to be legally owned here in PA, which is another reason why I was like, yeah, this is never going to pass. Good luck.
Yeah, that just shows that they've never actually read the Pennsylvania state constitution. Being a native Pennsylvanian, when I was in high school, we had to read that. And do they not realize that according to the Constitution of the state of Pennsylvania, every citizen of the state of Pennsylvania above the age of 16 is part of Pennsylvania's militia?
Exactly. And not only that,
but you need his government stamp if you want to not have any issues. So, like, it sounds like you watch one of them free movies that they're on YouTube at 2 a.m. and then try to put shit in law to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. And then the Second Amendment of Pennsylvania actually says we have the right to keep and bear arms for self-defense and in defense of the state, and that shall not be questioned.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Man, what has happened to my home state? God, what's happened to my home city? I remember growing up in Pittsburgh, everybody talked about guns all the time. There was now, we didn't have the mayor of the city trying to ban guns from being carried within the city limits when I was a kid, Oh, look at what's going on there now.
Yeah, it does border New York. I hate to say it, but the bullshit spreads like a cancer. So.
Well, when you look at it, New York, look at Pennsylvania. We are surrounded by New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. The only pro-gun states that we touch are Ohio and West Virginia. And we got our western border covered there, but we've only got a very small sliver just below Pittsburgh that is actually being touched by anything, and then the rest of the state is surrounded by communism.
There's probably a lot of spillover into the state, especially knowing how it is between New York and PA. I should have moved to PA. Even right now, I should move until I move. In a sense, just it's just a better deal, especially towards the Second Amendment, but just in other stuff as well. But it's a long story. But basically, PA is a better fit for me in a sense. But so you'd think lots of people moving over are going back and forth. That may not be the same. So the people that you do have there must be pretty damn strong if you're still holding out two ways. So, and at least instead of being a cancer, I try to show up there and, be counted for the Second Amendment. So, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah. What's crazy is I was looking over states that West Virginia has reciprocity again because, every so often that changes. And I'm shocked that we have reciprocity with Delaware. I really am. But
Do
that's,
you really?
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, that was a shock when I saw that. I was not expecting Delaware to be on the list. But it was interesting to find out because in the bill that was passed about the issuing the out-of-state permits, that was one of the things that they mentioned was states like Delaware and stuff having reciprocity, which would help states in the people from other states. They didn't flat out mention it, but you know what state they were talking about. They're talking about Maryland. This bill was written specifically for people from Maryland. They just didn't come right out and say it. But you can tell when they're saying what states have reciprocity in the bill with West Virginia that would benefit people getting that permit to have. They list Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Delaware. And Virginia. What state would people possibly be traveling from where those specific states would be affected? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let's see who we got out there watching so far. Anyway, I might want to check on that. Well, we got a couple of people that are in here already, so no need to mention them. But we got Gary out there. Hey, Gary, how you might? And Gunpowder Beauty out there. Hello, man. And Bernie Sanchez is out there. Hey, Bernie. And NKJO's out there. So hello to you too, sir. And Gun Website. So good evening to you as well. So that's who we got out there watching so far. Yeah, you don't count Guns and Barbecue because you're in here.
Gosh, I guess I gotta go take that thumb away now.
Plus, you were picking on Kingpin.
I told you. Once he called you in, I was like, I did not know he's going to call in the muscle like that. He wins. Kingpin, I am very sorry. And I will make sure that I take that pin to the doctor and take really good care of it. I did not expect you to call in Mystic and say, shit got real.
It's funny. I didn't even know that. I just seen that. I'm like, pulled it up, watched it, and then said that. And then I took a screenshot of it and sent it to Kingpin.
Did you see the other one?
Which one?
There's a second one. I noticed you only commented on the first one. Yeah, there's a second one. I'll email you the link. We actually physically assault the pin.
Whenever he comes up with the device that's going to bring these bowling pins to life, you are in serious trouble from an attack from the pin people, right?
Man, he even had the kid on it.
But now that Mystic's involved, I'm scared to death.
I'm so going to have to go watch this video.
Kid was kicking him when he was down. It was sad.
Pin people matter.
Standing up.
Oh.
So I don't have Delaware. You have Delaware then?
Yeah.
Now, Rich, are they going to allow for oh wait, you said you have to take a class down there in West Virginia, don't you?
Yeah. No, like I said, I don't know if they're going to waive that class for veterans that live out of state, because the way it is right now, if you live in West Virginia and you're a veteran, you don't pay for your permit and they waive the class. I don't know if that's going to be the same for out of state veterans or not. Like that's what I was saying. If you live out of state and you're a veteran, you're going to have to contact one of the sheriff's departments in West Virginia because they're the ones that handle the permits. You go to whichever sheriff's office is closest to wherever you live, I guess, and put your application in and everything. So you'll have to check with them and see which one, if that's going to be the case or not. And it depends on, the person giving the class, how much it costs. It's going to cost you for the class anywhere between $45 to $50, maybe a little more. I know the range that we go to when they do their classes, they charge $50 for it. Some other people charge $45, and I've seen up to $60. I think was the most expensive that I've seen for it. And then the permit cost itself is $50 for, I believe it's a 5-year permit, if I remember correctly. So it's basically $10 a year. And normally, if you're a West Virginia resident, you would have that refunded to you on your state income taxes as a refundable credit. But being out of state, you're not going to be able to get that credit. So that's something to keep in mind too. So it'd be about $100 altogether to get the permit, which is still cheaper than some states. I mean, if you go look at Illinois, what they want for their out-of-state permit and the hoops you got to jump through, it's like Jesus. And they only give out-of-state permits to people from certain states on top of that. Like somebody I know was going on a hunting trip out in Illinois, and they wanted to get their out-of-state permit, but it wasn't. They were told they couldn't because what state lived in, because it wasn't on their list. And two, it was like $300 plus whatever they charged for their class for the permit. So he's looking at like $350, $375 total cost for their out-of-state permit. And again, we live in a state where you can't get their out-of-state permit anyway, because you got to live in a state where they accept your class. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you could use your class. Never mind. You didn't have to pay the Illinois class, but still $300 for their permit. But you had to live in a state and have the permit in your state but the laws have to coincide with and be similar to Illinois. And because we have constitutional carry and all that, you're from West Virginia, you can't get an Illinois permit anyway.
So,
Well,
go ahead, New York.
Sorry, I was going to say I know there's classes out. I've heard of them in New York where it's like the Florida, Utah, and there's another one I can't think of. But basically, they have instructors. You can look up a class, and they do most of the paperwork. You pay about $250, $300, and you get covered, and pretty much covers most of the states.
Yeah, you just got to have the class has to be one that's recognized by the state of West Virginia. But
okay, yeah, I was gonna say there might be an option for them in a sense in that manner. I think it's more money, and sometimes you got to drive to the other end of the damn state and stay at a hotel for a day because it'll be a 2-day class or whatever it is.
Well, the class here is
you really want to do it, you can.
Yeah, the West Virginia class is only a 1-day class. It's like 8 hours, and then and that includes shooting time, where you fire 50 rounds, and you gotta get a certain score on a man-sized target at 15 yards. It's not hard. It's not a hard test, and the shooting test aspect of it's not hard. It's an easy shooting test too, so it's not a super difficult thing to do.
Yeah, what are these classes y'all talking about?
Oh, just the standard concealed carry class.
Because our concealed carry was like 2 hours in the guy's garage talking shit and about 10 rounds in a dirt pile.
These lucky bastards.
Yeah, that's what I like about PA is I walk into my sheriff's office, they take my photo, they take my money. A couple of days later, I've got my concealed carry card in the mail.
Yeah.
Well, it was easier for me then because I just drive there, walk in the door, give them, I think it's $20, fill out one form, wait for them long enough to print me up a new ID, and I'm on my way back out the door.
Yeah, and a lot of counties, from what I understand, are doing it that way. For some reason, my county, they still mail it to
Center
you.
County.
Doesn't
Yeah.
make any
Yeah.
sense.
When I
No,
went and got when I got mine recently here in West Virginia, the damn ID printer was down at our sheriff's office, so they had to mail it to. He had to send it in to the state, and then the state sent him the permit, and then I went and picked it up when it came in. It only took like 3 days for him to get it.
It's like an 8-hour class here, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is here. It's an 8-hour class. They go over gun safety and what the various types of handguns are and stuff like that, and then you go out and you.
Ours is a lot of legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, you get some of that too. You know, it
that
wasn't,
sounds
to
like
be
New
honest.
York.
Yeah, to be honest, the West Virginia shooting class isn't much different than what Pennsylvania's hunter safety education class used to be. To be perfectly honest with you, it was almost the same kind of stuff that they were talking about.
What ticks me off is I got to drive like hours in the PA to a specific location to get a permit or anything like that. I called ones that are closer to the border, local counties, and like they're telling me it can't be done. Like people in PA don't know what the hell they're doing. There was a rally somewhere I called to see just to verify I can open carry, and the cop wanted to know who gave me my permit. Like, where did I get it? Like, as if I got it off Craigslist. Like, nobody has a clue what the hell's going on out there. And then I told him, I got it at this sheriff's department, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, I'm going to have to call them. Like, like he was going to do something about it. It was crazy. So you guys are pretty jacked up over there, man. Like, nobody knows any goddamn thing. And it sucks. I got to drive, way in just to deal with a permit when technically, I got to go through other counties to do so. It's a pretty shitty deal.
Yeah, you got counties up there where there's sheriffs that will refuse to issue a permit to out-of-state people, even though Pennsylvania is a shall-issue state. There was a list on, I forget what website, of what counties in Pennsylvania will and will not issue out-of-state permits in defiance of state law. But because of who the governor and the attorney general in Pennsylvania is right now, they get away with it.
Yeah, when I went to renew my permit back in February, I asked my sheriff, hey, could I take you to lunch or something, do a little interview? I've got people asking about the whole out-of-state process, and he didn't have much any interest in that. He's like, oh, you just do the same thing that you do here, except, they're out of state, so they have to be a permit holder of their state's concealed carry, and that's about it. And I was like, okay. But he did add that a lot of sheriffs are refusing to give an out-of-state concealed carry license because, quote, if that person were to do something in their state's not going to report to Pennsylvania that person did something that would make them lose their concealed carry license. And that's why I'm like, that shouldn't matter. But that's the reason I was given.
Yeah, which is a really stupid reason, because as a West Virginia permit holder, I can already carry in Pennsylvania. So what difference does it make if I spend the extra $20 to get the PA permit anyway?
Yep.
I know I had to get a permit for travel because they wouldn't recognize New York unless you have a permit. So, which is pretty jacked up in a sense, because that those other places won't accept it, knowing that New York, they want like everything. You know what I mean? They're going through, from what I hear, one of the most extensive checks in the country. I mean, the only thing close that I can compare to is military or maybe a security job as far as background checks, things like that. Like, they go pretty far. And the references, if they screw up and don't send things back in time, there's a phone call and a paperwork you got to fill out. Like, if they don't send that out right in my county, you're done. Your money's gone, everything. You're like, you got to wait so long and you can apply again later.
My references have literally never been called.
I didn't even
New
have
York's
to
get called.
I didn't even have to provide references. They just do a NICS check and you're done.
And your references all got to be angels, no family.
Yep.
And you got people complaining, "Oh, West Virginia doesn't recognize our permit." Well, you know what? The way our constitutional carry law works, you don't even need it. You're from Illinois. You can come to West Virginia. You can carry a gun all you want without a permit. It's the way our constitutional carry law is written. But West Virginia has had a long-standing policy where if you don't recognize our permit, we're not recognizing yours either. Yeah, go ahead. You were going to say something, Governor Barbecue?
I was going to say, but the problem is that's only for open carry, right?
No.
If you wanna,
No.
Oh, wait, yeah, you said constitutional. Never mind.
Yeah, you can walk down the street with a claymore strapped to your back, sword-wise, I'm talking.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, our constitutional carry covers anything that can be perceived to be a deadly weapon.
That's open carry?
That's open and concealed.
Okay, because I'm checking the USCCA map and it says I can, but with restrictions. So I'm trying to see what the restriction is.
The restriction is you have to be 21 or older.
Okay.
That's what the when you find the restriction, that's what's going to come up as. Our constitutional carry applies to 21 or older, thanks to Nevada, because Nevada was going to cancel reciprocity if the state passed it as being an 8, because they were originally going to pass constitutional carry at 18, but because of Nevada and their nonsense, then they were going to, like I said, they were going to cancel reciprocity with us if we passed that law at starting at age 18. They made it to where that starts at 21, and 18-year-olds can get a provisional permit, which gives them the right to carry within the state of West Virginia and whatever other states decide they want to recognize that permit.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is age, but it's popping up to be 18, like 18 from Vermont, South Dakota, New Hampshire. There's basically an 18 age limit from what I'm seeing here. So I don't know. Let's see. Arizona 21, Alaska 21. So there might be a difference between different states.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got sweet tarts in my mouth, so if I sound funny, that's why.
Like I said, the only reason why we have that 21 or over restriction on our constitutional carry, again, is thanks to Nevada saying they weren't going to recognize our permit. Frankly, if I were in the legislature, I would have told Nevada to shove it up their ass and passed it anyway.
Well, the thing is, if the constitutional carry is supposed to just be for 18 and up, what does that matter? Because it only affects while they are in West Virginia. They could have still made the carry permit for 21.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely stupid. They didn't have to recognize their provisional permit for 18-year-olds that would be going out there anyway. I mean, it's not like you said, it isn't like our constitutional carry law was going to apply in Nevada. So I don't know what the hell they gave a damn for in the first place.
If I ain't mistaken, I think it's 21 here too to carry.
Yeah. Now, open carry, you can open carry at 18 in West Virginia without a permit. 16 if you're on private property.
You can do it anytime you want in New York, but if you get caught, you're going to get shot or go to prison.
I'm talking about legally. You can legally open carry at 18, 16 if you're on private property there. That better, Rob? Clarified that? You can legally do it?
All right. I'm just saying.
You can do anything once.
I'm copyright striking you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Rob,
What?
on the way to Tulsa, I did see a Bigfoot. It's right there at the state line, sitting up
Yeah.
on the hill. Bigfoot.
Keep an eye out. You never know.
I seen that. I said, "Damn, I should have took a picture of that and sent it to Rob." He out in the middle of a field, nowhere, nothing around it, just a Bigfoot.
MKJ is asking when he can get that permit and where's the closest sheriff's office. You're in Montgomery County. The closest sheriff's office is probably going to be Berkeley County, which would be Martinsburg area. Might be able to go to like Charlestown too, in Jefferson County. Those are both right there by the Maryland border, over there towards that direction. And beginning of July is when that law goes into effect. I think it's July. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's July. So yeah, you'd want to look at Berkeley County or Jefferson County as being the closest sheriff's offices. The county seats are Martinsburg and in Berkeley and Charlestown in Jefferson County. Those are the two easternmost counties in the state. You probably have better luck in Charlestown than you would Martinsburg. I mean, it's a shall issue state, but Martinsburg tends to be more on the left-leaning side. So, yeah, your best bet might be Charlestown.
Pray they're not like PA.
Well, they're not. They our state preemption law, and if they were, our attorney general here would go after them.
Yeah. End up showing up and they're like,
Yeah.
"What are you, crazy? Get the hell out of here!"
Just not. Yeah, I'm telling them both because I'm not sure which one is actually closest to Montgomery County right now. I don't have the map in front of me. I'm not sure if Berkeley or Jefferson County is closer to where he's at.
You know how paranoid that makes me when I travel? Like that your own police in some cases don't know what the hell the law is. So it's like, I just key out, hands on the dash.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't mind traveling to where I'm at, just south of Cumberland, Maryland, over here in Western, in Mineral County, West Virginia, we're a 2A sanctuary county, so he can come here and get his permit. You won't have any issue. But I don't know if he wants to drive that far.
Well, even still, that'd only be like what, an extra 2.5 hours one way.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you get to tell Rich you're going to go hang out with him. He's going to take you to shooting range. You get to shoot up all of his 9mm ammo. It'd be a great day.
I ain't got much 9mm ammo. That's the problem. I don't got enough for me to go shoot. And, now, if he wants to shoot 40, I got plenty of 40. Were you going to say something, Rob?
I was just going to say, I'm looking forward to getting out shooting again, but it's had a cold spell and been hammered with work. And now I'm just on a delay waiting for windows to show up. So,
Yeah.
I still got paperwork and things to do, but I don't have to be locked down like on a site all day. So I might be able to sneak away soon. So I'm hoping so. Pray for me, guys.
Yeah, my wife was on vacation all this weekend. It's been raining or cold all week. She's like, watch, I'm going to go back to work next week, and it's going to be back up in the 60s and 70s. And you know what? According to the forecast, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Is that the way it always goes?
Uh-huh.
Always rains. There's bullshit on your day off.
Man, it rained
now
on us
imagine.
today out there at the range. Got cold.
The
That's
only
that.
range,
Now imagine doing a job that requires good weather, like exterior painting or a roof or something like that, or ripping windows out. So, it's kind of a bitch to schedule things around, and then you use all the nice days for work. You're forced to. So it's a shitty deal sometimes.
yeah, the closest range to here is that indoor range that we go to, and then there's supposed to be one in Maryland, but it's Maryland that's close to here, and there's certain guns that I don't know if I want to take them to Maryland, just because you don't know if they're Maryland legal or not. But what's interesting is Allegheny County, which is the county in Maryland that's right across the river from us, is a 2A sanctuary county in Maryland, but they still follow most of Maryland's gun laws. But after any gun law that Maryland passes after they made themselves a 2A sanctuary, they're not going to abide by. But all the ones that are already in effect, they're going to. So it's like, I don't know if I want to bother risking taking anything into Maryland to go to their shooting range.
Well, if you transported it legally, separated, blah 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 blah, I would think you probably could.
I don't. It would still be illegal to possess in Maryland if I'm putting it together to shoot on the range in Maryland.
At a shooting range,
Yeah,
isn't it private property? Wouldn't it?
No, it's not going to matter
You
if
would
it's
think
private
that
property
you
or not.
go into your family's house in Maryland and they own 20 acres and you're shooting in the backyard. It's private property.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a AR-15, for example. That's a assault weapon by Maryland law, and therefore wouldn't be legal in the state of Maryland to possess.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. Same thing here. If you bring certain types of scary guns into the state and went to private property, it'd still be a crime. So I don't know what the hell I think. Sorry.
Yeah. But let's see. Well, we've been joined out there by Stan from SS Pawn. Evening, Stan. And Tulai Moo is out there as well. So is Ozzy. So, good evening, gentlemen. Oh, DJ Play Nice is out there. Just noticed he was out there. Not so much I'm paying attention because apparently he's been out there for a little while now.
Yodel.
So I just learned something. I did not realize Pennsylvania does not have reciprocity with South Carolina.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about it myself.
Well, isn't Pennsylvania one of them states where if you don't shake hands with them, they don't with you? I mean, like how they forced me to get a permit. I mean, it's only $20, but still, instead of being just accepted.
I think a lot of states are that way, and that very well could be it. Because the other thing here, I didn't think we had reciprocity with Virginia anymore because Virginia, from what I understand, was going to stop recognizing Pennsylvania's permit. And so Pennsylvania was like, yeah, we're not going to recognize yours either. But according to the USCCA concealed carry map, we still have reciprocity with Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia, there were a lot of states that Virginia was going to cancel reciprocity with, or their attorney general wanted to, but their legislature kind of put a stop to that, and he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. And they passed a bill preventing him from doing so, and their governor tried vetoing it, and they overturned his veto. Virginia's a really weird state.
It is.
Their legislature is majority controlled by Republicans, yet they have in the executive branch there is all controlled by Democrats, and they voted for Biden, and they have 2 Democrat senators. It's a really weird state.
Well, have you ever met anybody from there? They're all freaking nuts. No.
Yeah, I've met a few people from Virginia, actually. I used to work in Virginia.
I don't know. There's a couple of people that I met down in Virginia that are pretty freaking badass when I was driving truck, but not many.
Okay, Kingpin out there says that no AR is illegal in Maryland. The issue is buying it there. Okay, so I could take my AR, my 10.5-inch AR-15 barrel, bleh. Let me start over. My 10.5-inch AR-15 pistol that doesn't have a bull barrel and has all their so-called assault weapon features on it, and it would be legal for me to take into Maryland then?
America.
Okay, that's interesting. Maryland's law on that is really weird, which is one of the reasons why I'm not sure if I wanted to risk it or not, because you don't know what actually is legal and what isn't unless you like dive into this thing and really study it. It's absolutely crazy. Like I've had somebody tell me that my Pepper 12, because I got the muzzle brake I have on it and whatnot, might not be legal in Maryland. So it's like, holy cow, they're just absolutely nuts the way they got their bills written. And I think they did it deliberately to confuse people.
I can believe that. And a lot of people just want to play it safe because that's basically exactly what happened in New York State with the SAFE Act. Even the dealers had no idea what was going to be considered legal or not for a long time. And there's still, questions on certain things. A lot of times, I honestly think it depends on what officer you run into, and if you do have an issue, what prosecutor you end up with. So, whether it's going to be a big problem or not, sad to say, but yeah, I think they make it confusing on purpose.
All those Maryland laws are only if you live there. If you just come in to visit, they don't give a shit.
The question really starts to arise then, how many of the police officers in the state of Maryland know these laws?
None.
And know where they apply and don't apply?
None.
Yeah, in that situation, get insurance, man, and play things safe. My opinion. At least play things safe, because that's really what makes a difference. And you don't want to sit there and have a pissing contest with an officer on the side of the road, because it's just not going to work out. So either have something ready to go, or don't play with fire. Or if you're rich and bored and got great lawyers, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I know Kingpin said any AR-15 that he buys in the state of Maryland has to have a bull barrel. Now, I don't know what effect that's going to have on whether it's deadly or not, because if you stop and think about it, they put bull barrels on match-grade firearms for a reason. Yeah, Kingpin says it all comes down to buying the stuff. ARs can't have more than 3 features: brake, adjustable stock, pistol grip, etc. All guns have to go through a review board before they can be sold here. All right.
The freaking tyranny we live under. Shit's getting ridiculous.
I mean, this shows how ridiculous Maryland's law is. Kingpin could, from what he's saying there, come into West Virginia, buy an AR-15 that has all of the bad assault weapon, of course I'm putting that in air quotes, features in West Virginia, and take it back across the border and be perfectly legal. But he can't buy that exact same rifle in the state of Maryland itself. He could buy it here and take it back, but he can't buy it there. That's absolutely stupid. Whoever wrote these laws is a moron.
It's just to piss the locals off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All they're going to do is drive all the Maryland people that want to buy an AR-15 to West Virginia, and we'll get all the business, or southern Pennsylvania.
Hey, Rich. How long does your guys' carry permit last?
The permit itself, I believe it's 5 years. I can check mine real quick. Hold on.
I know mine is 5. I
Yeah,
got to get
yeah, it's
mine done
5
next
years.
year.
It expires. It runs from whenever you get it to your birthday 5 years in the future. Like mine
Oh,
runs
okay.
from March 4th of this year to March 15th of 2026.
So I missed your birthday. I apologize.
Yeah, and like MKJ says, and all the 30 Round magazines. And Kingpin also says, but the ARs can be sold with a light barrel if it doesn't have any of the other 3 features. So if you get a New York style AR-15 in Maryland, then it can have the thin barrel. But if it has a pistol grip, then it has to have the bull barrel. Absolutely ridiculous.
Too confusing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, somebody should ask Snob if this is a 2A enough of a conversation for him.
Apparently not, because he walked out to his office.
Oh, jeez.
But at least he's no longer piggybacking on my, link. And he's
He
not
has it,
annoying.
but he has his own.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, he's too lazy. He says no, it's not.
Well, apparently he's still listening.
Yep, apparently. Basically.
Like,
Yes.
just waiting for Jason to start sweet talking you.
Well, I think Jason fell asleep. He hasn't said anything in a while.
Jason works too much, and even if Jason did start sweet talking me, it's not be like whatever. He don't care.
Yeah, Jay's a little worn out from work today, man. Just sitting here, petting and visiting the dog.
You work too much.
Well, he's got an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Because I went to that dealer's place yesterday.
What are you gonna buy next?
Oh shit! What do you got now?
Did you buy another M92?
No, I bought another FS.
So the answer then would actually be yes.
But I turned down one too, so that's something. It was a compact. I just didn't like it. Had an M1 carbine there. Winchester receiver, Winchester barrel, inland stock on it. But then it had some other mixed match stuff on it. It was described right from the beginning as mismatched, but it looked okay.
Yeah, right now I'm looking to see exactly what date that goes into effect. So for MKJO, since he was asking about it, see if it says exactly what day that goes into effect. And this one, and of course, the governor's website does not say exactly when that law goes into effect, just so he signed it. Why should I be surprised by that?
See, now here's something else that would be good for people in Pennsylvania. If they did get the West Virginia concealed carry, they would get South Carolina as well.
Yeah, they would have from Pennsylvania down through Florida. Yeah, Maryland being the one exception, obviously. And the whole eastern seaboard, almost. The southern half of it, anyway. It's only going New York and up that you would have states that wouldn't recognize it. New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island.
So West Virginia can carry in Puerto Rico with restriction. Pennsylvania resident can carry in Puerto Rico with no restriction.
But we can't carry in Maryland.
Yeah.
Look, you guys can carry in New York, okay? If you're not in small town New York, I'll tell you how to do it. You make sure you got an extra $1,000 on you. But if you get stopped, you just pass over the extra $1,000 with your ID and say, I bet you're not going to give me a ticket. And then wink, and you'll be set.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I don't buy that for a second, knowing how much of a cheapskate Rob is. No way he ever tried that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, it was cheaper for me to get the permit. But, for all you other guys with money, cash settles everything around here. They don't care. You could have 50 tickets or whatever. You show up with no money, you're going to jail. You got cash, you're home free.
I forget who the hell I was watching that did a video on this that went over when those laws go into effect and everything. Yeah. I'm not finding anything on it right now, which sucks. The other thing that I found is the governor's page saying he signed it. Gotta love that. Let's see. Here's something from Fox News. Let's see if they say. Oh, it says beginning June 5th. Oh, no, wait. That's an old law. God damn it. That's from 2016. That's a concealed carry permit or constitutional carry. Stupid Fox News. Yeah, let's see what the NRA says. Yeah, no, it doesn't say about the governor signing it. This is an old damn bill. Damn, that's an old story too.
Whenever they sign that, Rich, I'm going to come down and pay you a visit, sir, because looking at the USCCA concealed carry map, I'll pick up 6 states by getting the out-of-state license for West Virginia.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they did it.
I think I got 5 additionals when I went and got PAs for $20.
Well, Rob, you swing over, grab me, we'll go down to West Virginia, you'll pick up 5 more, and you get to hang out with guns and barbecue all day. I'll make you a barbecue salad.
What's the date? I'll mark it on the calendar.
When's this getting signed, Rich?
Well, it's already been signed. We're just waiting for it to go into effect.
All right, when's it going into effect?
I'm thinking July 9th because he signed it April 9th, and it's a 90-day waiting period before they go into effect. By state law, bill takes
It's
90
April
days.
7th.
Well, no, I'm looking at a story that says that they signed the bill from April 9th, and it says that the governor signed it today in the story. Yeah, it says they take effect in 90 days from April 9th, so that would be July 9th.
If I do that, I'm going to need a new wallet. I need one of them ones you open and then flips out the permit thing, and it just keeps folding down. You're like, shh. It's in there.
Yeah, you're talking about the ones that take you 30 minutes to put back together?
Yeah.
You better hope you got it right.
I got it.
When you get to the end.
I got a kind of cool one now where I can I got room for 4 IDs in a sense where depending on what I'm doing, whatever, I'm good to go. So, but yeah, I don't know if they make them for 5 or 6 or something.
You know what?
Before they turn into a pain in the ass.
We're gonna get you a Rolodex.
There you go. I'll just slide that in the back pocket.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey, their governor announces drastic gun control agenda. Well, I'm not surprised.
Put the Rolodex on
You
a
don't
chain like
say.
Flavor Flav, wear it around your neck. And if you get
I
stopped,
won't
just
have
go,
room for a
yeah,
clock,
boy,
man.
look at this.
Where am I supposed to put my clock?
On your wrist, like a normal person.
Nah, man. Nah.
Did you say clock or Glock?
Clock.
We all know the Glocks go in the river.
Hey, now I like mine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot another thing that they passed here in West Virginia that's going to the governor's desk is going to allow online raffles of firearms to benefit charitable and public service organizations.
Hey, if you throw a Glock in the river, does it float?
I don't think it
I
does.
don't know, but apparently if you bash it with a sledgehammer, it turns into something nicer.
Yeah, the way Scotsman was talking, he had to fish one out of a muddy, dirty stream, so I don't think they float. If anybody's seen Scotsman's latest video or was watching Foreign and Domestic earlier, they were talking about it, and he said, yeah. So, no, I'm going to say Glocks don't float.
No, I just had an idea. A base plate just that's made of foam, like a really dense foam. So if you did happen to drop your handgun in the water, it does float.
Yeah, we need to get Pat Hirsch in here. That's his specialty. Talking about that.
Yet to be seen. I'm still waiting on my double barrel belt fed prototype over here.
Yeah,
Shit.
this is true.
And the Home Defender 2000 is just waiting.
Well, maybe he's been busy with his cows.
Yeah, MKJO says it passed April 7th. Yeah, past April 7th, but it doesn't go into effect till 90 days after the governor actually signs it, which was April 9th when he actually signed it. So that's when it's going to go into effect. Yeah, it's not 2 days difference, but I'm surprised he actually signed it that fast. It usually takes a week before they pass up and then he gets to signing it. But either way, beginning of July.
Well, even if he didn't sign it, isn't there a certain period where it becomes law?
Yeah, if it sits on his desk for 30 days, then it becomes law.
Yeah.
What's really nice is when our constitutional carry law passed, we still had a Democrat governor at that point. That was when we were going from being a mostly blue state to a mostly red state. And he vetoed it, and almost unanimously, the legislature overturned his veto. There was like 3 people that voted not to overturn the veto. And that's between both houses of our legislature, the Senate and the House of whatever they call it. I forget what the House of Delegates, I think they call it here. So, 3 people between 2 houses voted not to overturn his veto. That's incredible when you think about it.
Well, guys, I'm going to hop off here tonight, but it was good to see all of you.
See you, Jason.
All right, you guys take care.
Take care, Jay.
Yeah,
All
later,
right, take
Jason.
care, Jason.
All right.
Get some rest.
Till I see you again, I'll miss you.
Miss you more.
Well, we got another spot on the panel open, and there are some people out there that got links. So, if any of you want to jump in, you feel bad for Jason?
Yeah. Become a Beretta slave. You can't
Oh,
walk by one.
Yeah, he's addicted.
Poor bastard.
He's addicted to Berettas, just like Clover's addicted to 22s.
I don't know if there's some type of virus or what. I mean, shit, he sent me a video. It got me wanting a Beretta. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm telling you, man, we got to have an intervention for this guy. He needs help. He sees a Beretta 92, he has to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been joined out there by G23. Good evening to you, and the person who didn't have a show last night. Of course, I didn't have a show last night either, but I wasn't home, so I mean, I had an excuse. And I
worked out perfect for me.
Yeah, I worked out perfect. I mean, I worked out perfect. Yeah. I stated previous that I wasn't going to have a show, so G23 didn't give anybody any prior notice. He just didn't do one.
Gosh.
Again, it was the gods. It worked out perfect. I had to go out to dinner, and then I was probably way too drunk for a show. So,
yeah,
good time.
Yeah, went out to dinner. Didn't get drunk like somebody else on the panel, but I did take the wife out to dinner last night. So, yeah. Well, thank you, MKJO. And DJ Clay Nice says Brother 92 equals 60 Italian. And he also says it's better than a Sky addiction. Yeah, you might have a point there. At least it's not Skies he's addicted to. Hell, I was on Gary's show and I don't remember anything being said to G23. Maybe you did, and I just don't remember. And he said he wasn't home last night either, so we're all slacking. None of us were home last night.
Man, we're living. Can't sit on your ass every day.
Does anyone know if Ohio has out-of-state concealed carry permit?
I have no idea, and the person to ask just left.
Just left, yep. Because I would pick up one additional state with that. Not that I would probably ever need it, because it's all the way on the other side of the country, but why not have it?
I can check.
I would pick up Washington State if I got Ohio's.
Have you checked into Utah's?
No, but nobody really does Utah classes around here anymore. Like, they used to get advertised constantly. Then once Ohio started recognizing Pennsylvania's concealed carry permit, they just dried up, because that's what everybody was getting the Utah permit for here in PA, was so they could go carry in Ohio.
I was going to say, they do theirs by mail.
Yeah.
Now that Utah one, is that the Florida-Utah one, where instructors travel around? Kind of like I was mentioning earlier. I don't know if you were on the show at that point or not.
Yeah, I was on at that point. Yeah. I don't even know if it had to be an instructor from Utah, as long as they were a certified instructor.
I don't think it is. I think it's, the guy that's covered a bunch of places.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about
that. People in New York got that too.
I'm not seeing anything about Ohio having a out-of-state carry permit.
Does come in handy having more than one ID. I mean, not like a spy or something. I mean, they're all you, but comes in handy on the aspect of when you got to fill out paperwork, different things. a lot of times they expect that you're going to have to go home to get the proper amount of stuff. Even with a PO box or something, and then you can whip out that, and they're just in shock. So it's nice not to have to go back twice. In some cases.
Yeah, the only out-of-state permits that Ohio issues are to military personnel, their spouses, or non-residents that are employed in the state. So as far as just getting an out-of-state permit, no, they don't issue one. So I answered that question. Ooh, sorry about that. I had a young fit. Huh?
So that kind of makes me curious. Somebody that would be disability like myself, could I still go over and get one then?
No, because you don't work there.
But I'm receiving my pay from the federal government.
But it's not military. You got to be military or a military spouse.
I realize that, but
yeah,
the government's saying, yeah, you have a disability that prevents you from working.
Yeah. But
just seems like a bit of a
probably
different
department, I think.
Yeah,
Most militaries.
And they recognize your permit. Oh, by the way, according to their website, Ohio recognizes every other state's permits. So you could carry, according to their website, in Ohio with your New York permit. Mr. Knives wants to know if Nebraska got constitutional carry. No, I don't think they did. Texas is on the verge, potentially.
I heard somebody talking about that there. I think it's going through the thing like we are right now, going through the Senate and shit. But I think they're in the process of doing all that.
Well, G23 is asking if I'm assuming that Guns on Barbecue isn't married to a military man. Well, I know he's divorced, so we've talked about that in the past. So yeah, I'm not assuming. I know he's not married currently. So.
But if there's any cute military ladies out there, Barbecue's looking.
And he's got a hell of a set of beer goggles, ladies.
I do.
I'm not quite, military, but
Whoa.
You can also baste a bird like nobody's business.
That's right. You should see what I do with a pair of breasts.
Oh, jeez.
Goes by feel. Oh, the personal touch.
Uh-huh.
I was going to go off of something there, but that might have been a little too much for the live show.
I can only imagine.
DJ Play Nice also says, no, they didn't get constitutional carry, but they got Second Amendment sanctuary status. Yeah, interesting combination. And, oh, geez, the obnoxious one's out there now. So, hello.
So something I thought was pretty
Was
cool.
he bitching about things and stuff?
No, he just said first because we know he can't count, but yeah, we already knew that. Well, what were you gonna say, Guns on Barbecue?
Something that I thought was pretty cool to come out of the Texas hearings where they voted on to get constitutional carry was they had put in an amendment to expunge all previous gun convictions. If you have a conviction for a gun crime, I guess related to like if you chose to conceal carry and you weren't supposed to, or something like that, that would then be expunged, and that was unanimously voted through.
Interesting.
I thought that was pretty freaking awesome.
That's kind of cool.
And I had actually asked Clover, what's going to be harder for them to get through. Was it the House or is the real hurdle the Senate? And he said the real hurdle is definitely the House. It's almost a guarantee to go right through the Senate. So Texas is looking pretty good to finally get constitutional carry.
Yeah, well, that'll make them the 21st. So then we can all say blackjack at that point. You know, because it'll be 21. When nobody plays blackjack around here.
I try not to gamble.
We playing for ammo?
I don't know, man. That could get a little high stakes, but
Yeah.
ammo costs almost as much as an ounce as gold at this point. We should take a poll. Which will see the prices decrease first, ammunition or video cards? G-Web says he feels like all 57 states should get concealed carry or constitutional carry. Yeah, I don't know why either, G23. I saw that too. I clicked on approve and you beat me to it probably by like a millisecond. But yeah, that was really weird to have to approve that one. I don't see anything in there unless YouTube doesn't like the word Texas now. That would prohibit that one from being posted. It just doesn't make any sense. For those of you not paying attention, the one where he said House Bill 1927 would eliminate the requirement for Texas, that had to be approved before it would be allowed to be seen. And then Obnoxious says, I mean, if Heinz can have concealed carry or constitutional carry, whichever one they want to say CC is for. CC could also be credit card. Why not the other 56? The state of Heinz. Is that the state that John Kerry lives in since he's married to Teresa Heinz? You know, she is a member of that Heinz family, if you're wondering. Yeah, the ketchup people. John Kerry is married to the ketchup people. Which makes a lot of sense because his brain is made out of mustard.
So,
So,
anybody get out and do anything active today?
what the hell did I do today? I didn't do much of anything today, to be honest. Sat around watching YouTube videos. That's all I did.
Lazy ass. Next.
I went outside, took some trash and threw it in the dumpster, and that was it.
Lazy ass. Next.
I went to the range and shot a half a box of ammo.
Ding, 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 ding. That's pretty cool. Have a box.
Yeah.
That sucks. But yeah, at least you got to go shoot, though.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us down there shooting. Okay.
Do anything else? Do some dishes or something?
Nah,
Oh, shit.
that's all I do.
Next.
Went shooting. sit out in the wash the rain for about an hour after we got there. Put everything up to go home. Damn sun come out. Got hot as hell.
Well, I just fixed the problem where DJ Play Nice wants to talk about any more bills in any other states. He's not going to worry about having that approved again. Unless YouTube does their stupid auto moderation thing. Has anybody seen them do that lately? If they're still auto moderating things and putting up that stupid Google moderation team says this is bad or whatever the hell it was. I haven't seen that lately. Has anybody else seen that lately? If they're still doing that crap?
No, I haven't seen none of that lately.
Yeah, it was funny a few weeks ago. Me and Kingpin were seeing what we could get away with in the YouTube chat on Rick's Life I See It's channel. And we're both moderators over there, and it was we would type something and it would disappear and say that something about the Google moderation team has decided that this is bad. Basically, yeah, that was special. Oh, Stacy's leaving us. Good night, Stacy. Yeah, that was definitely special that day when that was going on, and we were cracking all these jokes, and it wouldn't let our jokes go through. So we'd be talking about Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, and it didn't like that. What were you going to say, Rob? I saw you had unmuted there for a second.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm like 3 stages away now. Let me go back. I was gonna say I haven't noticed anything with the text lately, but the comment I guess I would have made is sometimes when you make too much sense, YouTube just zaps it. So you don't necessarily have to be cussing or anything like that, but the wrong combination of words, even just in normal speech, in a sense, seemed to have been a problem for me in the past. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's pretty crappy, but that's YouTube.
Yeah, I think the first one I went to say was Hunter Biden is a crackhead pedophile, and all of it's true, but YouTube deleted it automatically. It was like it was up there for a second, then gone, and I put up that stupid Google's moderation team, stupid nonsense.
And that's such, in my opinion, kind of heavy censorship. It would make you think something like, what you'd expect to hear from like China or something, not, the U.S. It's pretty crazy.
VM Faust is out there now, so evening to you too, sir. Okay, so Knight says he went outside and stepped in dog poo, then got angry and went inside and burned the shoes. Oh.
That he wish he burned them outside.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I would have
shitty, smoky situation.
Yeah, I think I would have burnt them outside if I was going to burn them, not inside. Have your house smelling like that, ew. That's not a pleasant smell. Yep, G23 says he messed up and took a nap. Now he's going to be awake all night. That's why you don't take naps. They take a nap and it throws your sleep off. And don't do that, and you don't have that problem.
Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna head out myself. Work
Okay.
comes early in the morning.
Okay. Later, Buck. Have a good
All
night.
right.
Take
See
care,
y'all
Buck.
later.
Well, then the panel gets smaller. We're just losing people left and right now. It's all Jason's fault.
Yep.
And by extension, it's absolutely Night Strike's fault.
100%.
No, man. Were you guys watching Gary's show Friday night?
I was actually on the panel Friday night. I don't know what I was going to say now.
Remember what Night Strike and the we said something was his fault, and he started, "It's not my fault," and we all just start saying everything was his fault.
Yep. Then Night Strike jumped on my show Friday night, and I just kept rolling right with it.
Classic. Moo says it's always Mike Strike's fault. Yeah, Moo was there Friday. He knows.
So is he just a guy everybody loves to hate? Is that what's going on here? Hate
No,
on Night Strike?
I don't know if it's so much hate or just messing with him, and he takes it a little too personal at times. You know, we all give each other grief about something, you know, and we just roll with it. Night Strike doesn't seem to have that ability.
Yep.
G23 says, hopefully Midnight Range DM's chat will put me to sleep. It may or may not.
Can't wait. Can't wait for him to get that place opened up, man. I'm taking a road trip.
Yeah. I don't know if he's ever going to get that opened
Expecting
up.
to be odd.
Yeah, my wife's talking about driving up there when he gets it opened up. She said something about that last night. Yeah, she's like, has Travis gotten the restaurant opened up yet? I was like, I don't think he has. So, yeah, she's talking about wanting to go up there when he gets that one open.
Damn, union people taking their sweet ass time.
I know, right?
It's ridiculous. I could have done it half and half. Half food, half cash.
She was a little upset that he wasn't going to be doing the Asian fusion anymore. That when we went there last year, she got the filet lo mein, the beef lo mein, and he made with the filet mignon, and she loved that.
I hope he has some damn American food.
Well, you got American food on at the last place. Like you get burgers and stuff. I got pizza. I went to it was an Asian fusion place, and I ordered pizza. But, you know, some of that Asian stuff that he had on the menu, I couldn't eat because of food allergy, so I just ordered a pizza. I'll tell you what, that was
Better have a badass burger and a damn good salad.
I'll tell you what, that pizza was.
We're going to hear the end of it from the lady.
Yeah, the pizza he had was damn good. Oh, that was on the menu at the other place when he was working there. Yeah, that was a really good pizza. If you like thin crust pizza, I mean, some people don't like thin crust pizza. I don't mind a thin crust pizza. You know, if I'm eating the whole pizza by myself, which was like $10, I think, for that. That was like the cheapest thing on the menu too, if I remember right. But it was good, and she let me try a piece of the steak that was in her lo mein, and I tell you what, that filet mignon that was in there was cooked perfectly. People say it melts in your mouth. This literally was melting in your mouth as you were chewing it.
Shit, steak sandwich I had last night was like that. So good. Ribeye, grilled peppers, onions, mushrooms, cheese. It just dripped like it was soaking in the bun. I was just wondering, hoping I wasn't gonna have to fight with it. Oh no, take a bite and it was easier than like a damn sub or something to bite through. Oh, it was so good. Damn, that's the snake back there.
Yeah, we had good New York strips last night. Those were really nicely cooked, seasoned just right. Really nice and creamy mashed potatoes with the gravy
Yeah.
and a green
My cook
salad.
got drunk.
A nice green.
Drunk and broken, and now she's not doing shit but watching TV.
Yeah, before the main course, we had a nice green leafy salad, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and different other greens like spinach in there. It was a good, nice salad to start things, and then the steak and the potatoes. My wife had green beans with her, so I'm not a green bean person, so I didn't get the beans. I don't like cauliflower either, which was the other dish. So like, just give me double the potatoes and I'll be fine. I had a double order of the mashed potatoes. And then for dessert, we had a nice lemon cake with blueberry icing with actual fresh blueberries in the icing. That was good too, the dessert. And she had sweet tea for her beverage, and I had an Arnold Palmer, which is half lemonade, half sweet tea. Good eating, good eating. DJ Play Nice says pizza allergy to tomato, mushroom, wheat, etc., and lactose intolerance. Well, aren't you just a ray of sunshine out there?
He's got to be a pleasure to live with.
Uh-huh. Well, he can't even do a white pizza because he's got the allergy to wheat. So, geez,
I used to have to, I guess you could say, work with a guy that had a lactose intolerant issue. And man, it freaking sucked. Like we'd get pissed. He was lucky he didn't get his ass kicked. Like, seriously. Like, if we seen him at somewhere, we'd like drag him down and fight him to get, Yanny and that cheese and shit. He'd be stinking us all out for days.
Okay. He says that's not him. He says, no, not me. He doesn't have those allergies. I don't know who he's talking about did then, but not him.
That sucks, especially if you really like it too, because then you just go around like a sneaky bastard all the time.
He said that it would suck if that was a thing. If somebody was allergic to all that.
One thing DJ does like is cilantro. He loves that shit.
G-Web says Crump is quirking us just like barbecue quirked him the other day.
I told G, I was just trying to be like all the other cool kids when he was doing DGS, and then people started corking him and everything. I was like, you know what? I want to see what this feels like. I'm going to cork G.
You're supposed to punch down, not up.
Hey, on the bright side, I was nice. I gave a plug to his show on my show that night. We even went over. We checked out what he was doing with the Friday wrap-up show. And it was kind of ironic because, like, right at the part that I plugged into on my screen share, he was talking about, like, if you do this, it would help you scroll forward. It was like he was talking to me, telling me how to screen share his stuff on my show. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, the salad had a homemade ranch dressing. Oh, that dressing was so good.
You like Guido's special sauce, huh?
Uh-huh. But man, it was good food we had last night, and it was all local farm raised beef. Well, I was telling you before we went live, but you got the little tea house, which is where we went to eat last night, and behind there is the ranch where they raise the beef that they serve in that little tea house. And that's
Nice.
also where they get their supply for the local butcher shop. It's all owned by the same people. It's all one big family-owned operation. They got the cattle ranch, and then they got the little tea house restaurant, and then they got two locations for their butcher shop, both located in this county. One in the main town where we live, and then there's a little town that's a few miles up the highway, and they got another location there. And I tell you what, man, the beef that they raise is so good, and it costs you what you would pay in Walmart for the meat, but the quality is so much better. Yeah, like DJ said, farm to table. Yeah, exactly. That meat was never, that goes from there to the restaurant and never frozen.
So yesterday was my daughter's birthday party, and I had to make 2 pork shoulders, and those might have been the best 2 pork shoulders I've ever made. I could not believe how good they were. That, and I had to make my coleslaw and my barbecue sauces, which I did a new one, which is a horseradish barbecue sauce, and that ended up being quite the hit at the party. And when I say I make barbecue sauce, I don't stand over a stove and slave or anything. All I do is I take Sweet Baby Ray's original, and I mix it with a bunch of crap and make it better. But the horseradish barbecue sauce ended up, like I said, being freaking amazing.
Yeah. Well, the butcher shop, the pork and the chicken they get, that's also locally sourced. Like, there's a hog farm around here that they get the pork from, and then there's somebody else that has a chicken farm that they get their chickens from. And it's all like organic, raised, free range, like chicken and stuff. They just have a fence that they keep around the farm itself, but they don't keep them all cooped up and everything. So the chickens are all running all over the damn place. It's like crazy to watch them. You can go and you can watch them just try and gather up these chickens. And it's freaking funny as hell. Watch all the, you know, you've seen like the greased pig chases at the local fair or what have you. It's like what? It's like that, only with chickens. Chickens are not easy to catch. They get riled up and they start running around clucking their heads off. It's crazy. Yeah, good food, good food. Now all the seafood and stuff that all comes from Maryland, because they got a source in Maryland where they get their seafood from. The crab and the shrimp and fish. But unfortunately, that stuff ends up being frozen for part of the journey. So. But the chicken, beef, and pork they get at the butcher shop, it's never been frozen. It's all just fresh. It's been kept cold, obviously, but it's never been frozen until it goes in your freezer. You guys, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm forced to thaw some steak right now. Damn it.
Getting hungry?
Yeah.
G-Web says, pro tip, don't try to catch or chase a chicken. Simply wait on the other side of the road and wait for the chicken to come to you. So that's why the chicken crossed the road, to be somebody's dinner. Gotcha.
But I didn't think G-Webs ate meat. He only eats like vegetables and other rabbit food. So really, the chicken crossed the road to be safe with him.
DM Prof says, greased chicken sounds like some backwoods shenanigans. Well, you don't have to grease the chickens to make them hard to catch.
Yeah, it's a blast watching people try and catch chickens. What people don't realize is a chicken can just like turn 90 degrees on a dime, and people can't do that. And when you're chasing a chicken full speed and it decides to go left or right immediately, you don't get to do that.
Yeah, and if you don't grab the chicken just right, it'll peck the hell out of you, and you end up dropping it anyway.
Now, my 2-year-old, he has this uncanny ability that the chickens will come up to him. I'm not even sure if they come up to him or if he goes after them, but then he starts saying, "Chicken fight? Want to fight, chicken?" And then he'll start trying to box the chicken. And it stands there.
Just got a sweet talking.
The chicken is dumbfounded. It's like, what is this kid doing?
Oh man, the chicken gets to pecking at his feet and stuff, and I was just like, "You're gonna regret that, boy.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days."
Yeah, no doubt. You're gonna mess with the wrong chicken one day.
Or a rooster.
That's what it is that he keeps trying to fight. It's the rooster.
Now, this rooster doesn't stand 6 feet tall and
must be.
talk with a southern accent, does he?
No, unfortunately not. This rooster is only normal size. Must
be a passive rooster. Well, I've seen some of them chase dogs off and shit.
Yep.
The damn PA people got them on leashes in front of their house like guard dogs.
Yeah, I've seen parts of Pennsylvania where I can believe it. In parts of that West Virginia, I can believe they're doing it here too.
If you want a bird that's going to be a great guard animal, get a goose.
And if you want an animal that's going to be a good guard dog, get a swan. Those things will tear you up. Swans can be mean as hell. I've seen swans.
Gooses are pretty ballsy. A few animals out there that got more balls than a lot of people. It's pretty funny when you think about it.
Well, swans are just as bad.
They will hold their ground. They don't give a shit. You outweigh them and you're 5 times or 4 times as big. They will sit there and give you hell.
Mm-hmm. Well, DJ Play Nice had to go and spoil it and say that foghorn leghorn is not real.
Well, I say, well, yes, he is.
How dare you? That's good for the
My kid got bit by geese or a goose or whatever once at the park. It's funny as hell.
Yeah,
Know what I want
Show him on a path. He ran up and was like, "Go, go!" Like trying to shoo him away, and the one turned around and he thought it was funny, and he was just standing there laughing, like "What are you gonna do?" Like, and then the next thing you know, he was running. And then he was getting nipped at, and then I was just laughing my ass off. I was like, "That's what you get."
You ever see a goose chase a chihuahua? That is funny as hell. Poor little doggy getting his ass chased all over the goddamn yard by a goose. I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing my ass off. One of the funniest things I ever saw in my life. This poor little child was like, yip, 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 yip. And this goose is like, honk, 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 just chasing him over the
So something I've always wondered about, we have the words goose and geese. Geese being plural for goose, obviously. Why don't we have moose and meese?
I don't know. Why is deer both the plural and the singular for a deer?
Well,
Well, it's just like moose.
What's-
Same,
It's like
same
moose
difference.
and elk. What's the difference there? Seriously.
Moose are bigger than elk, and they have different antlers.
Okay.
That depends
I
on the
don't know. All I know is
individual.
elk tastes good.
I've seen elk bigger than moose, and I've seen moose bigger than elk. So I mean, it depends on the individual there. They're just different breeds of deer. And they both will tear you apart in a heartbeat.
I don't know. Elk meat is. I thought it was good. I ate a whole bunch of that when that was offered to me, but it's kind of like a marbled with the fat. So it's not like, if you don't like a lot of fat, there's not a lot of fat, and the fat that is there is kind of marbled in, but it still has some flavor. So it doesn't have, like a steak ribeye or something, the amount of fat attached or anything like that you're pulling flavor from, but it's still, in my opinion, tastes pretty good. So
yeah, it's a lean.
I think it's, then it's got like a less gamey taste than venison, in my opinion. Not stating all venison is that way, but people have no clue.
Even regular deer, a lot of people don't age it properly, and that's when you get the really gamey flavor to it. If you age deer properly, you don't get that. Moose is good too. Moose and elk.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying moose is good too. If you like elk, you probably like moose too. It's got a similar flavor.
Cool. Yeah. I'd go for some of that right now.
Well, I better check email because what time it is. See if Midnight sent out his links yet. No, ain't seen no links from him yet. Oh, Snob sent me the news story. Guess he wanted us to go over. Armed customer fires gun on suspected shoplifter at Indiana Walmart, police say. This happened it happened today. Right? Today's the 17th? No, today's the 18th. It happened yesterday. Story was filed today. Beech Grove, Illinois, Indiana. An armed customer saw an accused shoplifter pointing a gun at a Walmart security guard, fired on the suspect on Saturday, investigators say. Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department said the security guard, who works full-time as a park ranger, confronted a suspected shoplifter around 4 p.m. and the man pulled out a gun. A bystander who is licensed to carry a firearm saw the man pull the gun and he pulled and fired his. The bystander fired 3 shots that missed. The suspect heard the shots and ran from the store but was shortly stopped later by police and another Good Samaritan. It's phenomenal that when we need the community, they were right there with us, Officer Simone Burris, spokesperson for the agency, told WRTV. We definitely want to thank both of the Good Samaritans and any other standby or person that was here and helped during this incident. The store loss prevention employee was treated for minor injuries at the scene. The suspect, who is not identified, was taken to the hospital for treatment for minor injuries. Possible charges against him have not yet been filed, the Indianapolis Star reported. Officials said he has also unrelated warrants. The security guard and the bystander who helped were not injured. It definitely does our heart good that nobody was injured during this altercation. We thank the public that witnessed what was going on and jumped into action with us. Burris said, we thank the public for just continuing to support us, continuing to rally with us, and continuing to make sure that cases that need to be solved are being solved with their help and their support. Well, it sounds like somebody needs to go back to the range and do some more practicing. I mean, geez, fired 3 shots and missed.
I've just been waiting to say something about that. Like, what the hell did he hit? I mean,
What exactly did he hit?
Wait a minute. Barbecue, where were you last week?
No, this was yesterday, man.
I was at a birthday party yesterday.
Hitting the piano.
I tried. A bunch of the kids were hitting the piñata, and it wasn't breaking open, so I requested to take it outside and shoot it with my 1911, and that was declined even after multiple requests.
Didn't blow over. That sucks, man.
I know. I was really wanting to shoot that piñata.
I think that's something though. That 3 shots and all 3 missed. I mean, damn. Wow, I'm curious what he actually hit. You know, I would assume he's going to have to be charged for any damage, anything within the store, or this or that, or I don't know.
I mean, you might want to think about getting some more range time in. I know it's expensive right now to get range time in, so I guess we got to cut him a little slack.
I mean, was the suspect moving? Because I mean, that could be a difference there. I mean, a lot of people just stand at stationary targets.
Yeah, it doesn't specify, so that I can't answer.
Hopefully, he's understanding that he's accountable for his rounds.
No, and we missed it, I guess, when I was reading the story, but somebody was asking for your coleslaw recipe, Guns and Barbecue.
Oh, well, whoever that was, go ahead and email me at gunsandbbq@gmail.com, and I will have no problem emailing you the recipe. I just don't have it in front of me, and I don't have it memorized.
Yeah, it was DJ Play Nice, that's who it was. I knew I saw somebody, but I didn't catch who it was.
That bum, he knows how to get a hold of me anyways.
Yeah, and I got accused by G23 of ignoring the chat. Well, I was reading something that Snob had sent, so it was kind of hard to do that too. God, I can only read one thing at a time. Speaking of which, G23 also says that Midnight has sent his links out. So, yes, he has. When I was in the middle of reading that story, Midnight goes and sends his links out. This is how it is. But,
hey, G23, what time do you want me to go live next Saturday? We'll see what he says.
Working for G23 now?
Apparently.
I'm going to start doing a live show on Saturdays, and he kept telling me to go live at like 7:30, so he'd have a reason to cut off and not do 4-hour shows. So I just wanted to see what he said this time.
Yeah, he says you tell me.
I still haven't decided.
Okay. You're both undecided.
Should all cork each other. May the best show win.
Have a quirk off.
That's right.
I'll go live and then just jump over to his and cork myself. I don't care.
Yeah. Instead of having a cook off, you're going to have a quirk off. And G-Web says he'll just quirk you.
You guys
anyway.
don't see what all this PC shit has gotten us. You don't see where we're at today?
Nope.
Christ, I can't even find my decent maple syrup anymore. Are you shitting me? Get over it, people.
You know, you cheap to buy real maple syrup.
Oh, I buy the good shit. Honestly, I like the Aunt Your Mama better than the good shit. To be honest with you, the good shit's real runny. You know, it's a lot of people put it in coffee and all types of shit. I mean, it's good as a backup or something. It's better. It's like honey, getting honey local and natural. But you know,
Wasn't there what some?
I grew up with your mama. I need the mama.
Wasn't there one of the Aunt Jemima products a little while ago had like a Captain Crunch logo or something on it?
I don't know. I just looked for the one with the butter written on it. It had the little yellow things of butter.
Yeah, but there was, I don't remember what one it was, but there was, honest to God, there was one of the former Aunt Jemima products that actually had Captain Crunch on it. I was like, what the hell? I don't remember if it was a syrup or a pancake mix or what it was, but there was something Aunt Jemima had Captain Crunch's face on the box or bottle. Gotta be shitting me when I saw that shit. Like, what the hell? Yeah, there's white superiority right there. You go from old black cook to some rich white sea captain being on the label. And nobody else see the problem with that.
Well, that's the same thing as getting permission when to start your show. Jesus.
How dare they appropriate Captain Crunch?
No, Captain Crunch appropriated Aunt Jemima's product.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. That's okay.
Anyway, we gotta start wrapping this up. So, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, Rob?
Beat a damn salad. No. Thanks for joining us, folks. Take care.
Hey, you know what? That steak sub you had last night probably would have made a good salad.
Yeah, I got 2 ribeyes on right now, buddy.
G23 says to tell you that his wife called him a cheap SOB.
He probably was. Or he called me a cheap SOB?
No, him. Called him a cheap SOB.
Oh, good. He probably was. Let's say I've been very generous lately.
Mm-hmm. He probably took her to McDonald's for dinner last night or something. And we both spent a lot more money than that.
No. Good place. She was happy with her
Not
meal.
you, G23.
Got it. Oh, him?
Yeah. G23 probably took his wife and, got a couple Big Macs and maybe an order of fries to split between the two of them.
If she's lucky. Probably some food truck under the bridge.
Hey man, don't knock them food trucks. Them food trucks can have some really good shit.
If you got the balls to eat it.
Hey, I tell you what, when we went to the American Outdoor Show last February, they had the food trucks inside the place. They had this one that had the best gyro you'd ever want to freaking eat, man. I'm telling you. No, he says he made her pay for the coffee. So you was a cheap bastard. You made her pay for her own coffee.
Yeah, what a cheap son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn, I wouldn't even bought his lady coffee. What kind of shit is that? You slipping there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. What about you, Guns and Barbecue? You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just go out and make gun content, barbecue content, all that stuff's good stuff. But we could definitely use, more gun content being made. Try and help normalize it.
Can't argue with that. So, do what the man says. Get there and turn your cameras on, folks. Like Ghost always used to say. I don't think he said that in a while. Get there, turn your cameras on. The more people out there filming, the better off we are. So get there and do it. And with that, we will bid you all adieu for this evening, and we will see you next week. And head on over and watch the closer, I suppose. Till next week.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Vaya con Dios.
Hasta luego.